Hello folks, this is Sula once again. Welcome to another video for Teamfight Tactics. So this is another game from Set 6. I was not planning on posting any more games with Set 6 footage, since the last one that I posted on YouTube was my retrospective for Set 6. But the thing is, I was continuing to do more games where I was trying to get the missions completed for the Lunar Festival for Teamfight Tactics. And honestly, these games were just so much fun that I wanted to put at least one more game up on YouTube, showing what I was doing in this particular game. And this time we're not doing a retrospective, so I can talk a little bit more about the gameplay that goes on here. This has been a really fun set. I've played probably more games of Set 6 than any of the other sets in Teamfight Tactics because I've just enjoyed the gameplay so much. Since each time that I run a new game, it always feels like there's new stuff to try out. For this particular game, I was trying to achieve a couple different missions for the Lunar Festival. So the ones that I was targeting were number one, there was a very simple one that I just hadn't finished yet, which was based on shrouding a certain number of enemy champions with a Shroud of Stillness. The description in game was very vague about this, but I looked online and apparently you had to shroud something like 15 enemy champions with a Shroud of Stillness. So I was like, well, all right, I'll take my standard chain vest start and I'll look to go from there. Another one that I was targeting was this one that is a little bit more difficult to get that said you have to have two prismatic traits. It can be across different games, and you have to run at least two prismatic traits. So that would be an example of something like, see, I have bodyguard in right now. That would be running like 8 bodyguard. Alternately, you can get prismatic augments, but of course that's just random. You can't control the prismatic augment. So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna do the Shroud of Stillness thing. That's pretty simple. And I got this option to take a sniper emblem. So I was like, all right, well, with a sniper emblem, I can look to play 6 snipers, and that will be enough to get a prismatic trait and fulfill that. And I'll probably have to play another game, but at least I can get half of that checked off in this game. There's also another one that I'm going to keep an eye out for, which is to take a augment that has Celestial for healing. It's one of the most common augments is take Celestial, which is the percentage-based healing. That was the one that I was most worried about because that's pure RNG. You can't control when that one shows up. So I was just hoping, I'll have to play a couple games and hope that the Celestial healing pops up because there's, like I said, it's just pure RNG. You can't do anything about it one way or the other. But I can try to get the Shroud. I can try to play 6 snipers. I only have to play 6 snipers for 1 round. There are 5 snipers in the game. So if I get all of the snipers and then add that sniper, sniper emblem that I picked up, that will be 6 snipers. And I'll be able to hopefully knock that out. As far as what I'm playing, this is kind of a standard board here. I've got 3 Yordles in. I've got Trist and Ziggs and Tristana in there. So that's going to get me Yordle trait. Then I pick up Bodyguard from having Darius in there. And I also pick up Sniper because I could toss that Sniper emblem on the Ziggs. I don't plan for Ziggs to hold that for very long. But, by holding that right now, Trist will get Sniper trait in. I'll hopefully be able to preserve a little bit of health. And we'll just try to econ here with Yordles. I actually might win this round if I had managed to kill the Twitch who's on 1 hit. I was like, all right, Poppy, can you at least kill this unit? And oh, Poppy dies while her shield is in midair. I mean, it's not a big deal. I just would have taken 2 less damage if that had happened. By the way, here Yordle trait gives me some Vexes, so that's really nice. Getting 3 gold there is super duper nice. I actually could have had Vex 2-star here because there was a Vex on the previous round in the shop, and then another Vex here. But honestly, that wouldn't even be the right play to do that because it would cost 9 gold to pick up 3 Vexes, and that's not really even going to do anything for me right now. So it's honestly better just to sell the Vex, make 3 gold, and continue to go on from there. So, like I said, I'm going to look to try to get a Shroud of Stillness. I think that I can do that at some point. I just need to find a glove. This was definitely going against what I would do if I were playing this game normally, because if I get a glove, normally I'd be looking to make Last Whisper, but I have to commit my first glove to the Shroud of Stillness so that I can shroud enemy champions and start working towards that Lunar Festival mission objective. That's not to say that getting an early Shroud is necessarily bad. Shroud's a very useful item if you watch what the other players are doing and position it accordingly. It is definitely not a bad frontline item. Gives armor, gives a little bit of dodge chance, and of course puts that big fat cone on the board. that's going to increase the mana cost of everybody on the other team. But for right now, I'm content just to kind of econ here. And by the way, I have the option to make Ziggs 2-star, but I am going to turn that down because I think it will be much more valuable to put this sniper emblem on Heimerdinger instead. And he is the Yordle I want to put this on because Heimer rockets have good range, and if I add the sniper bonus to that, that will increase how much damage those Heimer rockets are going to do. So I pass up the opportunity to play 2-star Ziggs because I don't really care that much about 2-star Ziggs. Now I have the option to toss in a Scholar, pick up early Scholar trait, and I think that'll be better for my board. Plus, thanks to selling that early Vex, and by having a board full of 1-cost units, I'm actually pretty rich here. I'm sitting on 12 gold in the bank, and I've already pre-leveled to get to level 5 for the next round. This round's a little bit sad. There is a Singed who has an Anima Visage, which is the healing item, and I don't think I can really get through that. That's a lot of healing for this early in the game, but the good news is that's not going to scale amazingly well into the late game. The advantage of having that extra sniper emblem, I think, will be better in the long run, and it's also not bad to have higher carousel priority here either, as I drop down to 90 HP. So I see right away there's a glove on a 3-cost Gangplank, so I'm like, this is great. Give me that glove. I wish it weren't on the other side of the carousel, but I will do my best to try and pick that up. No, the other players don't seem to be interested, so I'm going to grab it. Ooh. The person with Metabolic Accelerator was flying in there at hyper speed, and I was worried they were going to take it, but apparently they wanted the tier instead. So, all right. We got step 1 down. We're able to get the glove, and that means I can make Shroud of Stillness, and with me getting it this early in the game, it is guaranteed that I will shroud the 15 enemy champs or whatever the heck I'm supposed to do. So that we can just pretty much check off already. I will put that on Darius any second now, and we'll be able to start shrouding enemy teams. So it's a good example. This is a game really where we can focus on the Shroud of Stillness. Normally, I don't try to make the Shroud super early. Like I said, I think it would have been normally be better to make Last Whisper here and then look to make something else. Like I would usually prefer to make a Bramble Vest, or if I'm solo frontlining a champion, maybe make Gargoyle Stoneplate. Not that the Shroud is bad, it's just the Shroud is better as the game goes on because you get more value out of it by shrouding more enemies. But it's still valuable even here in the early game. Like if you notice in this particular fight, I got Shrouds on 3 enemies, and like Echo still has not gotten his ult off. Look how long it takes Echo to get his ult off. By the time he ults, much of the fight's already over. Now, it's still not going to be enough to win this round because this person has an Imperial board there. They already managed to hit the Imperial trait. I think they had Swain 2-star, and they already have a Samira. So, yeah, it's not going to be enough to win this round, but I still did get a lot of value out of that Shroud. All right, so I also have to keep picking up additional sniper units because remember, my goal is to play 6 sniper. I only have to play it for 1 round, but I will have to play it for 1 round. So I do have to have at least 1 copy of every sniper, and that means I'm going to pick up the Cogmo here, who I would normally never pick up in this situation. Not really worthwhile to pick up Cog in most situations unless you're playing a mutant team comp or you're playing Protector Reroll, which is Antisocial Monkey's favorite comp to play in this set. So normally I would not do this, and it means I'm not going to be able to get to 30 gold here on this round, but hey, I need that Cog because I'm going to need to play 6 sniper for a round, and I need to make sure I have a Cog that I can toss in at some point. Plus, honestly, I do have the Sniper Crest. He could even be the next unit in for 4 snipers. Like I said, I don't think Cog is that good of a unit unless you're running Protectors or you're running Mutant. So I'm not sure that this unit's all that great to run. But hey, 4 snipers is a lot of damage. Weakness of 4 snipers is the big issue with snipers is you need to keep them safe. You need frontline to protect them. So when you try to go up to like 4 snipers, you usually are not playing enough frontline units to keep your actual snipers safe, and that's what you really need to make snipers stronger. All right, here I'm going to get a Trist for free. That means I don't need to buy Trist in the store. That is very nice. And looky here, instead of putting in another sniper, I can put in a Scholar unit. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that right now over playing the Kate because I think that's more valuable than... What did Kate give me? She gave me 3 sniper, which doesn't do anything. So I'd rather have the Zyra in there and give that extra mana generation to everybody on the team. All right, so far so good. I wasn't able to go on any kind of a win or loss streak there, but I still think it was a pretty good first stage 2 overall for this board. I was able to get the Shroud of Stillness, and I was like, oh, look at this. I've got a sword here. Can I get another glove? And oh, I can't get another glove. But I can get a Morello's here. I do have the components for that, and that'll be handy. Morello's always useful to have here in this set. I was like, oh man, I don't really have Morello's user. I'm also going to check out the spotlight. It's in a decent spot, not amazing. So I was like, I wish I had a Morello's user. And then I was like, wait a minute. There's a Lysandra in the shop. She can hold onto Morello's for me. So I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to sell the Zyrus, pick up the Lysandra. That'll get Scholar Trait in play. Let's get Morello's on her, put her right behind the tanks on the front line, and then she should be able to apply Morello's to the enemy team. I then also have a 2-star Kate on my bench, but for the moment I'll hold on that. I think it's better to have the Lysandra in with the Morello's, making the Scholar Trait. This round I'm up against Assassins. Hey, guess what Scholars don't like? Guess what Snipers don't like very much? Assassins that can just jump right past the back line and get immediately on top of the Snipers. Remember, they do more damage the further they are away from their target. So they don't really like having a Shaco and a Katarina right up in their face. This person, by the way, running Trade Sector, and it looks like they've kind of destroyed their economy because they have no money in the bank. So that may not work out great long term, is all I have to say. All right, so here, let's go ahead. This is the standard time to level to 6, so I'll just toss in the Kate. She doesn't really do anything for me, but I also don't have any other unit. Like, what else would I play here? A 1-star Darius, a 1-star Kog'Maw. Kate is definitely the most useful unit to play here. So I'm going to keep an eye on some of these other boards. Like I said, I am doing my best to try and stay in this game while I'm also trying to achieve these objectives. And let's hope that these rounds will continue to go relatively well. I haven't won that many rounds, but my losses have pretty much been close losses, so I'm actually reasonably happy with that. Look at that. Darius got off a nice ult right when he was about to die. Let's see if that's enough to win this fight. I think I can win this if Kate can snipe the Ziggs in the back lines, and boop, there she goes. Very nice job, Kate. So that's going to allow me to win against the Metabolic Accelerator player, who apparently is just playing straight Yordles. That is a good trait if you're going for straight Yordles. But I don't really like the way they've itemized their team. All right, we get our augment, and oh, Celestial's actually there as an option. I know I clicked on it super fast because I was very excited, but yes, we do have Celestial Blessing as an option. So your units heal for 12% of the damage they deal. And in fact, this is not a bad choice for this comp either. I barely even had a chance to look at the other options because I clicked that so quickly. But this is going to do two things. Number one, it's going to get me another one of the objectives for the Lunar Festival. One of the objectives was to take Celestial as an augment, either Silver, Gold, or Prismatic. Any of them works, but you have to take one of them. So it's going to get that checked off, and that, like I said, that was the one that is completely outside of your control. You have no ability to get that whatsoever. It's just pure, has to show up in your augment choice. So I was super glad to check that one off. But then number two, it is actually a good fit for this team. One of the things that snipers do is they deal a lot of damage. But one of the things they're weak at is they're very fragile. So giving them the ability to heal off of all the damage they deal is actually quite nice. If you keep an eye on Caitlyn in these fights, when she ults, she's going to get a pretty big chunk of her health back every single time she ults because she's going to do a big chunk of damage from having Sniper trait in. I think her ult does around 2,000 damage, and you know she heals for 12% of it. That's like 250 health back, something like that. I guess she did 1,500, so what's 12% of 1,500? That is around, what, about 180 health back? I mean, not bad. That's certainly something that is, going to help out, and then it'll scale as the game goes on, because the more damage you do, the more healing you get. It's the exact opposite of Thrill of the Hunt, which gives you a flat value, but does not scale as the game goes on. Again, Thrill's better early, but Celestial's better late. And in fact, the math on the Thrill value is actually not very good at all. All right, well, I've won the last two rounds. That was just enough wins to drop me to dead last in terms of picking here. So I was like, oh, okay, I get last pick. Well, I am going to take the Darius. It does two things. It gives me another vest, which is never bad to have, but it also just makes Darius 2-star. And so I was like, all right, I know it's a one-cost champ. I know it's one cost, but it does get me Darius 2-star, and that actually is going to help me a lot because, as I said, the weakness of these sniper comps is weak frontline. You got to protect your units. If you can keep them protected, they're going to kill everything, but you need to keep them alive, and that was my biggest weakness, is Darius had my tank items, but he was a one-cost. He was only a 1-star. So even though it's a little bit of an unorthodox choice, I actually think it worked pretty well here. And as far as the other stuff on the carousel, I'm looking for like another glove to maybe make less Whisper. I've also got this sword on my bench, so again, I wouldn't mind getting like another sword. Then I could make Giant Slayer, or another bow wouldn't be bad. That also would give me an option to make Giant Slayer. So all that stuff, not bad, but none of that was on the carousel. I think there was a cloak and a rod, which neither of which was particularly useful for me. So I was happy with that choice on the carousel. All right, I'm up against the win streaking player. This person actually hasn't lost a round yet, and they went early to level 7 to try to maintain the win streak. That has worked, and they are going to win a fairly close round against me. I wonder if leveling to 7 would have been enough to win that round. I think I probably still come up short. The difference is if I had put in the cog maul, I could have theoretically had 4 snipers, but I think I still come up short, even if that happens. So that's why I was okay with making that, with staying at level 6. I thought it was more valuable to econ here as opposed to trying to push tempo, push to 7, and look to maybe continue win streaking. I didn't think my board was strong enough that I'd be able to keep win streaking. I still have 1-star Heimer, 1-star Lysandra, and let's face it, Yordles are just not that strong as units. They're great for econ. My econ's in pretty good shape, but they're not great as far as win streaking goes. Then I come up against this player who is has Knife's Edge and looks like they're playing Challengers, although they kind of have done some really weird stuff with their itemization. Like, they have a Yone, but like Static Shiv Deathcap Yone, it's like, what is this? So anyway, they win this. They're going to win this round, but they're mostly just winning off of having the gold Knife's Edge, which is a lot of attack damage. I'm actually not too concerned about this team long term because their itemization is just so bizarre that it's hard to see that comp scaling well into the late game. So anyway, I lose those 2 rounds, and what do I lose? About 15 health, something like that. Somewhere between 15 and 20 health from losing those 2 rounds. So I do that to keep my economy up, and now I'm going to go to 7 and put in the cog for 4 snipers. So basically, I traded some health there for economy. Neither one of those was a bad loss. They were both relatively close losses, and I'm not sure that leveling to 7 and putting in cog would have won those rounds anyway. But oh well. The good news is we're getting closer to 6 snipers, so that's the hope there. And oh, look at these items. Oh, these are so good for me. That is Infinity Edge Last Whisper, so I am very happy to see the 2 gloves pop out there. So we'll go ahead and make that Infinity Edge. There's a Last Whisper. These are our future Jhin items, and then we just have another BF sword to play around with as well. I also have the option to make take that belt and make a Sunfire Cape, which I would do if I didn't have any healing reduction in my team. But I already have a Morello's. Lysandra does a good job of applying it. So I decided I'd hold out. Maybe I can make a Warmogs with like double belts. That would be nice. Maybe I can do something else with that item. But for the time being, I decided that I would hold and not put it on any units. All right, so I definitely got stronger there. I did get up to 4 snipers, and it is a pretty big damage boost to get up to the 4 snipers by adding cog. But more importantly, I got a really, really nice items dropping from that minion round. So once again, I'm going to lose this round, and I have dropped a fair amount of health here these last couple rounds. I'm not exactly in love with being at 55 HP at this point, but economy's in good shape. I'm going to hit I'm going to go ahead and hit this Leona here. So I was like, all right, I'll just play this over Darius. I don't see any real reason to hold on to Darius. Let's put the Shroud down, and I think I'm going to hold the other 2 items because I have the potential to, maybe make, it depends on what I'm going to get from the upcoming carousel. I think I decide to hold these items here. Or no, I placed did I place the belt on I think I placed the belt and held the, I can't remember. I think I was undecided at the time whether to put them on Leona or not to use them at the time. But it's a great shot because I'm able to replace Darius with a better 2-star bodyguard unit for the front lines. Poppy's still in there as long as I'm running Yordles, so I keep making a little bit of extra money. But I also found a Jhin in the store, so now I just need to find a Misfortune. And as soon as I do that, I can look to play 6 snipers, and I'll be able to knock out this mission and get halfway to the whole need to play 2 prismatic traits thingy. So I've gotten the Shroud mission objective, and I've gotten the Take Celestial Augment objective, and oh, look at this, there's an MF in the store. So I was like, do I just want to get this objective out of the way right now and play the 6 snipers? And I was like, I think I do. So let's just sack this round. We're just not even going to try to win this round. I'm just going to put in the 6 snipers. So there you go, Prismatic 6 snipers. This trait is pretty crazy. I believe it's 30% additional damage for every hex between you. Yeah, 30% bonus damage for every hex between the sniper unit and the other unit that they're up against. Now, there's just one problem with that. Yeah, you have no front line. I have absolutely no front line from playing all these sniper units. I've got poor Leona up there, and then she's going to die, and then, yeah, you see what happens. My backline just gets jumped on, and it is not pretty. So yeah, all the damage in the world is not going to help me if my front line just collapses instantly. So I knew that this was going to happen. This did not surprise me in any way. This was me sacking around deliberately just so I could play 6 snipers for 1 round, get that trait in play, and then I'd be able to check off this mission objective for the Lunar Legends, or the Lunar Festival. All right. It also increases my carousel priority, which I think is part of the reason why I did this right now. And looky what we've got on this carousel. There's a Jace with a sword on this carousel. And I was like, that feels pretty good. Because you know what we're going to do? We're going to make this Jace into a sniper. And we're going to play backline carry Jace as a sniper with 4 snipers in here. Because I can play Kate. And Kate's going to give me the Enforcer trait. I also find a Janna here. So let's go ahead and put that in. We're going to transfer the items from the Tristana over to Jhin. So let's put these over here. Get the sniper emblem in. I still have the Poppy up there on the front lines. I need one more sniper in. So let's put in MF. And I'm going to reposition a little bit. I didn't have a ton of time, but I'm pretty happy with how I've managed to do this. Now I have some leftover items, but I am waiting to see what I'm going to get from this last minion round, and also what my last augment is going to be. I no longer need Cogmaul because I no longer need to play the 6 snipers. We got that done. We checked that off, so goodbye Trist. Goodbye to the Cogmaul, and we now have the 4 snipers in. And I've also managed to get Sniper trait in, or excuse me, Scholar trait in, because I've got the Janna in there. That's also going to, and I also have Enforcer trait in because I have Jace plus the Caitlyn. So I do want to roll a little bit more, but I wanted to see what I could get on this this augment. So let's see what our last choice is. And I've actually got some pretty good options here. Stand United. Your units gain 3 AD and AP for each trait, and then Cybernetics, your units holding an item gain a little bit of health, 250 health and 20 attack damage. That was a tough choice. I honestly wasn't sure which of the 2 to pick, but I decided to go with the Cybernetics because I thought I wouldn't be playing as many traits because I was going to play 4 Sniper, and it's definitely worthwhile to play 4 Sniper with the Sniper emblem in here. So right now I'm trying to figure out which one of these units do I play. I was like, I think that's better. I think it's better to drop Scholar for the time being, even though the extra casting would be nice. I want to get Clockwork in. I want to get Enchanter in. And I was like, well, who holds the Morellos then? And I was like, wait a minute. Misfortune can hold the Morellos. She can do that a perfectly fine job of that. So I'm going to sell that. There's 2-star Janna. I'm just looking to pair my board. I do have the option to play Scion here. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, but I do have that option. So we'll put the Morellos on MF. And we've converted over to 4 Sniper with Enforcer, Clockwork, Enchanter, and Bodyguard. Now the unit I need to upgrade from is Poppy. I just haven't seen another Bodyguard to toss in there. I guess technically I could play Blitz. And in fact, that wouldn't be a bad choice because that could potentially get me the Scrap trait back in with Janna. And that is one possibility, but I think I was hoping to see whether I would hit the 2-star Scion. And if so, I was going to play 2-star Scion. And if I missed it, then I was going to look to play either Blitz or Braum. So it was going to be a matter of depending on what I hit here. And my goal now is to roll again after the minion here. So I'll hold here for this round. I get the 2-star Ori, so that's pretty nice. And I'm going to roll again after these minions so that I can continue trying to 2-star my board. I'd like to 2-star, ideally, the Jhin and the MF, and then replace Poppy. If I can do that, I'll feel content to go to level 9. And I think my board is pretty stable here. I just want to fully stabilize, and then I can look to go up to level 9, depending on what I find. I am also trying to spread out some of the items to take advantage of Cybernetics, because that was my last augment there. So let's see. Zac, no, we don't need a Zac. Lulu, no. Gangplank, no. Echo, no. And as it turns out, I don't get any more item components at all, which was a little bit surprising to me. It was all money. So I guess I already had all of those. Anyway, we're going to hit the 2-star MF, then we find a Braum, and we're still rolling here. Don't see anything there. And then it's another Braum and another Jhin, and I was like, all right, I found 2 out of 3 Braums. We'll just play Braum. I'm confident now I can hit Braum 2-star. And then I hit the Jhin 2-star, and I was like, all right, let's stop here. We 2-starred our whole board, so now it's just what items do I want to make here? I was like, I don't think I need the Sunfire. I think I'd rather make a Guardian Angel out of these items. Guardian Angel before it disappears. Get it now before it disappears. So I'll go ahead and make GA. And I probably should have put one item on Janna because she potentially could have. I guess no. I was saying so she could make use of scrap trade, but I actually don't have scrap trade in place. That probably was the right decision just to itemize Jace. So I still do have room for another item on Jhin, and I can use another frontline tank item on Leona or Braum, probably on Braum, because then he'll get cybernetic benefit if I put, like, I don't know, a Warmogs or a Bramble or something on him. And hey, look, there's another Jace in the store, so I'm feeling pretty good right now. I mean, look at this situation here. I've been able to 2-star pretty much my whole board. I got the 2-star Jhin, 2-star MF, 2-star Ori, 2-star Janna. Definitely had some luck rolling down, but, you know, I did have enough money. I did have quite a bit of money to roll down because I played Yordles for the whole early game. So another game where Yordles econ pretty strong. I was looking at the other boards. I noted that the spotlight tile was over on the right-hand side. So I'm going to position the Shroud to hit that tile because I know a number of other teams are probably going to be making use of that, even though I am not. This is going to be another challenger board. Looks like they only have 1-star Yone. Really nice Braum ult, by the way, popping that Yone up in the air. So now we're going to finish off the Yone. Now it's just a question of can we kill that Fiora. She's going to get off another ult, but looks like we've got this covered just fine. And we're going to be able to win that. And my board is really strong because 4 snipers is a ridiculous amount of damage. And it's super nice that I only have to play 3 sniper units. Like, I'm really only playing 3 snipers. I'm playing Jhin and Miss Fortune. Oh, and there's the 2-star Braum. Excellent. So it's a high roll game for sure. I'm really only playing 3 snipers. I'm playing the Miss Fortune plus Jhin plus Caitlyn. And then I get kind of a free sniper from my first augment, which I have chosen to turn Jace into another sniper. And that's really the thing about about snipers is 4 snipers is great. I mean, it's 16% extra damage for every tile between the sniper and their target. So like when Jhin ults the back lines, he's hitting someone who's what? There's 8 total. There's like 8 total rows on the board. So if he's hitting someone that's like 7 rows away, that's 7 times 16. So what is that? That's an awkward number to multiply. I think that that's like close to, it's like 70% extra damage. So like you do that, you take that 70% extra damage and add it to like Infinity Edge, Last Whisper, and the fact that his 4th shot is guaranteed to crit, and like he just absolutely shreds people on the other team. And he's not even the only threat because I've got Miss Fortune, and yes, her magic damage does get the benefit from being further away with Sniper. It's not just physical damage; it does apply to magic damage as well. And then I've got Kate's ult that pops in some extra damage randomly in the fights. Plus I've got Jace. Backline Jace with items does a lot of damage too. And he also gets the sniper benefit. So I'm just really happy with how my team's set up right now. Out of these items here, of course, I'm going to take the Zephyr. I mean, it's mostly a bunch of emblems I can't use anyway. It's not, I mean, the Spear of Shojin would be nice on like Orianna, but come on, I'm going to take the Zephyr. I've got Shroud and Zephyr, so I've got like the screw you late game combo. I was actually looking to see if I wanted to put it on Ori and Orianna and then just keep her permanently on the Socialite tile to just deny everybody from using the Socialite tile. But I looked around and people weren't really using the Socialite tile. So I was like, all right, you know what I'll do then? I'll just put it on Braum. He's going to get the the cybernetics value from my augment. So he'll get a little bit of extra health and a little bit of extra damage. And this also allows me to Zephyr out frontline units, which is really, really good in my snipers comp, because if I can Zephyr out the front line, that means all my snipers immediately start shooting the back lines. By the way, this person has by far the most health in the lobby, because Sunny got 81 health, but it's not especially close between us. I'm going to do 18 damage to this person. And they're also level 8 with no gold. So I was like, all right, that person's got a lot of health, but they're not really going to get much stronger. Still, they are probably the person I'm going to be hitting at the end of this game because they have so much health banked right now. Like, they have way more health than anyone else. And I was looking at their team and I was like, looks like they're playing carry Seraphine. I don't know if you saw that, but Seraphine's like their big carry. I think they've got an Innovator's board. They've got the Innovator Mechanical Bear, not the Mechanical Dragon. And I was like, I see that they're grabbing Seraphines. I actually saw that they had 5 Seraphines. I was like, this person is clearly trying to 3-star the Seraphine. I should just grab extra Seraphines just to be safe. When I roll down at level 9, I'll just grab extra Seraphines because I don't want them to hit 3-star Seraphine. That's probably the only way they can beat me. All right, I'm up against an Assassin comp this time, but I totally screw over this Assassin comp because I shrouded half their team. And I have Enforcer trait, and Enforcer trait meant that their 3-star Shaco did not jump at the start of the fight the way Assassins normally do. So yeah, they just got wrecked by Shroud, and they also got wrecked by Enforcer trait, and I just knocked them out of the game, even though that otherwise would have been a pretty nasty board for me. But yep, that that is the advantage of having some of this stuff. As I said, I kind of have to screw you late game team composition. Shroud plus Zephyr plus Enforcer. So you're not going to be having a good time against my team. You are not going to enjoy your time fighting against this particular team composition, as I do all this random annoying stuff as my snipers then shoot you to death. All right, so we get a chalice here, and this is a pretty nice item to get because I can toss it on Oriana, and then Ori will also get the cybernetics benefit. There's a reason why I'm spreading out these items and putting them on different champions here. So she will also get the additional health and the additional AD, although that doesn't matter that much. And of course, the chalice is useful because it'll pump up MF, and it'll also increase Jin's damage by a little bit. More significant for Misfortune because she deals magic damage, but still not terrible. If you notice, I'm continuing to position for Kasuni and also for this person back on a dead game. Notice how their whole teams are off on that right-hand side. So they are going to get absolutely destroyed by a Shroud of Stillness. And I end up not hitting those. I hit like this Challenger team composition instead. So this is a team that's not as susceptible to the Shroud of Stillness. But oh, Braum gets off a magnificent ult. It's a great Ori ult. That Fiora is trying to get in the back lines, but I've got a GA on Jace, and that is going to bring Jace back to life. And even though Fiora is definitely healing off her ultimates, we're going to be able to do enough damage to win and almost knock that person out. Not quite knock that person out. All right, so here I was getting close to level 9. I was like, all right, I'm close enough. Let's roll down. I'm looking to 2-star Jace. I also want to get another Scholar unit in. Yuumi would be preferred, but I will pick up Heimer. I also would play Galio if I could 2-star the Galio. I haven't really seen that. I'm also going to just pick up these Seraphines because remember that one player is trying to 3-star Seraphine. So let's just take a couple Seraphines out of the pool. Why not? Ah, there's the store I wanted. Double Yuumis. So we'll play that, and then we'll pick up another Yuumi. And now we've managed to put Scholar trait in play. And by the way, check out this Shroud of Stillness. It's like, yep. Oh, we're going to Zephyr out the solo frontline Scion. We're going to Shroud your Misfortune and your Jin. Yep, this is not the fight that this other team wanted to have. I actually think this board over there is quite strong, by the way, as Yuumi gets off a nice ult. Because like you can see, this fight's relatively close, and that's with me Zephyring out the Scion and shrouding their whole team. But we're going to win the fight, and we're going to knock them out. And in fact, now it's down to just 2 players in the lobby. It's down to me and Kasuni, who is the person playing this Innovators board. There we go. We're going to 2-star the Yuumi. Oh, what's this? Are you hearing these pings? It's a lot of back pings coming out from this person. Apparently, they noticed that I was holding Seraphines, and they're going to type, just never mind, not rank. And I was like, oh, this guy's mad. He's so mad that I'm holding Seraphines. Anyway, I'm going to reposition the Shroud. I'm going to have my Zephyr is going to take out the Anima Visage that's healing on the other team. So we're going to punch right through the Mechanical Bear. And oh, look at this CC train. Oh, look at that Ori ult into the Yuumi ult, into the Jin. And oh, yeah, that's 22 damage. That's pretty much the max damage you can do. I believe it's the most damage you can do in one round if you have 9 units here on stage 6. You, of course, can do more damage on stage 7. So this person apparently decided they wanted to get revenge, and they grabbed the Jace on Carousel, which I would have taken for Jace 2-star. But that's okay. I've got plenty of gold. I don't need to worry about it. I'll just take this bow and make a Giant Slayer on Jace, so why not? That's probably the best thing I can do. So right now I'm just rolling for Jace 2-star, although I would continue to take Seraphines out of the pool if I saw them. I was like, this person, not a happy camper that I took out those Seraphines, all those back pings. And like, I get it, they're trying to make 3-star Seraphine. They have 8 Seraphines on the bench right now, and I'm holding 2 Seraphines. I totally get why they're angry, because they want to try to make 3-star Seraphine. But like, this is a competitive PvP game. I'm trying to win here. I have not done anything wrong by taking these Seraphines out of the pool. Like that, this is a basic fact of teamfight tactics. There's a shared pool of units. I would be an idiot if I didn't do this. Like, I wouldn't be paying attention if I weren't not to do that. So yeah, we're gonna just annihilate this board again. And, I probably still win, even if this person 3 stars the Seraphine, but like, why take that chance? I want to win this game. I don't want to see this person, knock me out and win the game on 1 HP. I don't think it's in any way disrespectful to, like, actually play the game and try to win. Like, I'm not trash talking or anything here. So, anyway, yeah, I mean, this guy's mad, but you know what? I took those Seraphines out of the pool, and this guy's not going to hit 3-star Seraphine in this game. I'm actually going to sell the Seraphine at the last second because I don't want to put it back in the pool. And this person tried to swap their Seraphine over to the right-hand side, but I am going to reposition my Shroud just in time. All right, so this fight looks like it's going to be another... And, and he instantly quits the game. He's so mad. All right, well, that was fun. So I'm able to get first place. But you know what the sad thing is? The sad thing is Sniper 6 actually doesn't count for that prismatic objective. Yeah, apparently it has to be a prismatic trait, not a prismatic origin or class or something like that. So I actually did not get credit for that, although I didn't realize until after this game was over. So womp womp. Oh well, it was still a lot of fun. I really got a kick out of the other players' reactions at the end of the game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this and hope you enjoyed set 6 as much as I did.